Who did Shakur fight to make him elite? Up there crying like a little girl after he lost. Then he get in a fight with who that made him A-level? How they gonna say we not ready for this caliber fighter? He ain't no Tank Davis. He ain't knocking shit out like that, because we gonna him up. Y'all can believe whatever y'all want. When we break his nose and his jaw, his ass is done. And who did he fight? I want to see what A-level put him up there like this. He been bluffing his whole career. Now the ball in your court. Sign your contract, send us our contract, and let's fight. Prove who you are. And stop hiding behind things being all scary. Hiding behind Jay Prince, Andre Ward. You got to get an ass whipping. You got to get an ass whipping because you disrespecting me, auntie. What's up, y'all? We went past the clapback Thursday, so this the Friday, okay? Woo! It's been a lot. But I want to clear up one thing. We love our promoter. Oscar and Bernard, they love my son. Nothing wrong with them giving their guidance and their opinion, even if they feel like we might get defeated by Shakur. So you know, I don't have no hard feelings to them to voice their opinion out. But at the end of the day, it is, like I said, put the fight on. And now let me clear up something, because this Friday. Who did Shakur fight to make him elite? I'll wait, because he lost in the Olympics. And look at the quality of opponent he lost to. Up there crying like a little girl after he lost. Then he get in a fight with who that made him A-level. Because Top Rank been developing him strategically. Getting him people he could beat up on, and he couldn't even beat up on them. He was running and everything else against C-level fighters. So how they gonna say we not ready for this caliber fighter? He ain't no Tank Davis. He ain't knocking shit out like that. So this is Friday, so pardon my energy. And if one of y'all, stop it with y'all little Shakur, little, I guess, fan club. Don't send no just answer the question. Who did he fight? I want to see what A-level put him up there like this. He been bluffing his whole career. He got off a lost cried, got signed, getting good paydays to fight cab drivers. And I put up his record so y'all could look, y'all could tag me and let me know who did he fight that made him A-level. Because we gonna him up. Y'all can believe whatever y'all want. When we break his nose and his jaw, his ass is done. So y'all can believe this. Oh, now he want to run to another fighter. Why you want to run to another fighter? Because my promoter said, if y'all want me to do it, I will put the fight on. So it's clear, we fighting unless you don't sign your contract. And it's to you, Shakur. Stop being a girl. Stop being a girl. You gave us your word, so it shouldn't even matter past that. You said if he duck you, we next. I did everything I had to do with my promotional team, to, no matter how they felt, to put on this fight. So now the ball in your court. Sign your contract, send us our contract, and let's fight. Prove who you are. And stop hiding behind things being all scary. Hiding behind Jay Prince, Andre Ward, Terrence Crawford. You haven't accomplished shit. You got easy belts. Your last opponent was 12-1. We 18-0, and you gonna complain, oh, I knew they wouldn't let them step in. Get the fuck out of here. Sign your contract. Let's get in the ring, and let's show these people who you really are. All right? Because we know you. We already whipped your ass in there. You could come, oh, I landed one body shot in it. Stop. One body shot in 4 rounds. Why don't you be honest with them and tell them how good his defense is? Tell them how he outboxed you, Shakur. But this time we're going to sleep you. All that disrespectful stuff. And I love you. But you got to get an ass whipping. You got to get an ass whipping because you disrespecting me, auntie, all that other shit. Nah, come in here with my young boy then. We're going to show you.
Wow. So you just heard from Floyd Schofield Sr., and he had a lot to say about Shakur Stevenson. I want to give my reaction to what was stated. I mean, he said a lot. There was a lot of trash talk, a lot of this, a lot of talking spicy. The ego thoughts, I mean, it helps to build the fight, but I can't get too invested in a fight like this when there is no actual fight. We don't have signed contracts. So I'm not really understanding this new generation that want to pop it on social media and act like to me, I'm old school. I love trash talking, but it got to make sense. By making sense, you got to have a fight. So it don't really make sense to me if people are talking spicy and then the fans don't get to see the fight. So we'll see. Boots and Virgil Ortiz are not fighting in February, which was another rumored fight, supposedly going to be on the same card. And now we find out that it's not going to be on the card. So Floyd Schofield and Shakur could be another one of those situations. Like I predicted, the great Ego Stradamus strikes again. And it's unfortunate, but it's a reality. And I told you guys to look for these things. Then it becomes the finger pointing game. You did it. It's your fault. We wanted to fight. You ducked us. And no one really cares about that. Like, what is that? Okay, both sides are at a standstill. No fight. The fans don't get a fight to see who's the better of the two. And then the sides are blaming the other person. You know, it don't really benefit nobody. So for me, that's that. Show me a fight, announce the fight, and then I'll be more vested. As far as what he's saying, I mean, I understand riding with your son, but some of the stuff it really doesn't make sense. And I said this with Keyshawn. Keyshawn was like dissing Tank Davis, right? And he was like, he been tricking y'all too long. He been tricking y'all too long. And he kept saying that Gervonta is tricking y'all too long, and he's playing games, and he want to look raw and want to look better than what he really is based on who he's fighting. That can't really be said by somebody who has lesser than the person you're criticizing. And I said that then, and I'm saying it now for Floyd Schofield. You keep saying Shakur sucks. He's not this. He's a crybaby. He cried at the Olympics. He came in second place at the Olympics. All stuff we know. We watched him cry. We watched him in the Rio Olympics. We know that he lost to Robise in the gold medal match, and he's a silver medalist. So you're really rehashing what we already know. But furthermore, you're criticizing what has he done, what makes you A-level, what makes you the it guy in boxing. But the same could be said for what makes you ready for Shakur. And if you're going to criticize his resume and what he's done, then what have y'all done? Your first step up was Renee Euron, and then Floyd Schofield looked human, and he got dropped in the fight. So, you know, for me, I'm not too impressed when I hear that type of harsh criticism from people who have done less than the people that they're criticizing. You can't criticize somebody's bank account and say they're broke and call them, you know, a broke joke and all this type of stuff, but then you got less money than them. Where I'm from, that don't really make sense. Where you're from, maybe it makes sense, but where I'm from, it definitely don't make sense. So that's what I get from Floyd Schofield. The other part that was weird is he says, we love our promoter. And Bernard believes in my son, so does Oscar. So if they want to voice their concerns, we have no problem. Notice these guys have these crazy energies for the fighter, a lot of times other black fighters, but then they never had the energy for their own promoter, right? Like Terrence Crawford, he'll tell Gary Russell Jr., I'll break your neck and all this type of stuff, but he never kept that energy towards Bob Arum when Bob Arum was saying things that didn't make him look good. Schofield Sr., he's saying, hey, I love our promoter. They've been good to us, and who cares if they feel that we might get beat by Shakur? What? Like, that just sounds crazy. And like, your own promoter may have doubts about you winning the fight. I think that it says a lot. It says a lot indeed. So that part didn't really make sense to me personally. We'll see. As of me recording the video, I haven't heard anything new, good or bad, yay or nay, about this particular fight. Maybe by the time this is uploaded, we get some more information. But Schofield is like, sign the contract. What's the point of all of this beefing if the fight don't actually happen? Then it's just a waste of resources. That's how I look at it. The other thing I want to say is these boxing dads got to take a back seat. It gets to the point where it's like these fathers in boxing, a lot of them are trying to vicariously live through their son, it appears, to the point where they're like upstaging their own seed. They're upstaging their own son. Like, the reality is, you always see these situations where the person that don't got to get in the ring and fight and put them up and lace up and take the cuts, like when Floyd Schofield got cut under his eye, take the headbutts, take the left hooks and the check hooks. The person that's not in there is doing all the chirping, all the barking. And you see that a lot of times with these boxing fathers, and it gets a little bit excessive. Again, you might have got your son in the sport and introduced them to boxing, and you're happy for their success. You want them to continue to have success. I get that, but it gets to a point where it's like a lot of the boxing fathers, they start overtaking. Like, you see Floyd Schofield on Twitter, you don't know who you're even talking to. Are you talking to the daddy? Are you talking to the son? You don't even know. You know what I mean? And it's like, why not get your own Twitter account and like speak for yourself? And like, I don't know, I've always found that dynamic weird. It's like almost like some of these boxers, they live in their dad's shadow. Like, they're not allowed to speak or something. I wish I would be 23, 24, 25, anything over 18, anything over 21. And I need another man, even my own blood, to speak for me. I mean, for me, that would never work, because even if it's family, maybe there's different approaches or different. Just because my pops likes a certain movie, that doesn't mean guaranteed I like the same movie. So I can't have nobody speak for me 100% of the time. And I think that's what it's kind of getting to for Schofield, is like, where's the son at? He's the one that got to fight Shakur. And maybe he mirrors the same sentiments as the daddy. However, he's the fighter. So people sometimes just want to hear it from the person that got to get in there with Shakur. Because for me, I'm be real with y'all, this fight doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me. Will I support it and watch it? Absolutely. If the fans think it's a good fight, cool. But in the grand scheme of things and what I know about the game, it's really premature. Just like when people were saying Keyshawn is ready for Tank and stuff. How do you go from, it's like you're doing the behind the wheel driver's training. You're 15, 16 years old, whatever it is in your state. And you're 15, 16 doing the behind the wheel training, and you don't know how to park. You don't know how to park a core, right? You don't know how to parallel park. You're not really a good driver driving in residential where you speed limit is like 25 miles per hour. So imagine the instructor, you know, they have the pedals on their side too, and then you have pedals on your side. That's how the car's rigged. Imagine you're not a good driver, you know, and you just get on the freeway. To me, that don't sound right. But what should happen in my world is you prove yourself in residential and, you know, go to some kind of industrial business or like a Costco, you know, one of those plazas where they have all these stores and Targets and Costco's and Safeways, and show that you can navigate through that. People are coming out of the grocery store with carts and little kids and stuff. And then you could prove that you can drive in those conditions. Then you start thinking about the freeway. But in this new social media age, people want the Mario Brothers warp whistle and they feel ready. So whether they got 5 fights, 10 fights, or whatever, sparring experience, for example, they're like, I can beat Shakur or I could beat Tank, but you ain't really went through the steps. It's like Jadakiss said, you can't be in the dance with me, dog. Your steps ain't right yet. Like, we don't know if these people truly belong because you haven't fought even a level under Shakur for real. You know, and then I get it. Schofield's like, who made him elite? You're not going to change the public. The public perception is that Shakur Stevenson is elite, and you're ragging on him for crying and the Olympics and stuff. But that's something your son didn't do. Your son didn't go to the Olympics. How you gonna make fun of someone for medaling but not getting the gold medal when you didn't even have that experience? So all that stuff seems weird to me. And me personally, what I think would be better, like in boxing in a perfect world, would be Keyshawn Davis and Floyd Schofield. Because they're about the same amount of fights, same amount of like competition-ish. Like neither one of them has fought like what we consider elite. They're closer to should be fighting each other, or Andy Cruz and Floyd Schofield, or, you know, anything. If Frank Martin was still at 135, Edwin De Los Santos is a great fight. Lucas Body, you know, Ashton Sylvie. I don't know about now because he got knocked out, but before that, like those are the fights that to me are perfect fights for Schofield right now. But, you know, boxing is boxing. If an opportunity presents itself and you have the confidence, then maybe you can expedite it and, you know, bridge the gap quicker. So it is what it is. That's my thoughts on Schofield talking about Shakur. I think it's a bit excessive, and I gave you the reasons why. And even if you don't feel it's excessive seeing that you don't have an actual fight. Let me know what you guys think. Subscribe to the channel. I'm the best in the business, and it's not even close.